Hey there, welcome to day 1609 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. We're going to talk about today, let's talk about relationship responsibility and love is blind. Why is love blind? Well, because when we're in love, when we feel strongly about certain individuals, either good or bad, but we're talking about good today because love is a good thing, we tend to look at them through rose-colored glasses. We tend to see their good qualities and we tend to minimize their bad qualities, the bad behaviors, the bad things that they do. I've done that in personal relationships, I've done it in business relationships. So we talked about it as our idiom for supersize your business today, and I shared some of the ways that I have been blind as I've been growing and building and supersizing different businesses throughout my life. I've always had a business since I was 13. In the beginning, I was blind a lot, right? Because I was excited about having a business. I really had no idea what I was doing, and I was new to having a business at all. But I did rely heavily on grown-ups and advisors to help me to build that business. And over the years, I've used mentors. Sometimes, and I didn't even share this once, sometimes I have mentors and people that I look up to, and I would take their advice blindly, and it wasn't the best advice for me at the time. I didn't even say that one, but I just thought of that one. But some of the common mistakes I've made and been blind in my businesses are not taking new competitors as seriously as I should have, missing things in the market, changing customer needs, wants, and desires. Every once in a while, they will change some of the things that they need and want, and if I don't provide that to them, they will go to competitors and they will get it from them. For a long time, I didn't have a high-ticket program, and I had customers that wanted that, and I missed out because they went and followed different coaches and different advisors because I didn't have a high-ticket coaching program available to them. Cultural challenges, sometimes our businesses and our environments take on a corporate culture or a business culture of their own in spite of us thinking that we're directing and leading it in a certain direction. It can run away from us. Now, that didn't really happen to me. I was really, and have been throughout my career, pretty attuned to, not in corporate America. Corporate America, I didn't have much control over that, but I did in the divisions that I ran. I paid a lot of attention to culture, but there were sometimes things in the outside cultural areas that just didn't work for me. But in my own businesses, I pay a lot of attention to the culture because I think it's important. But we've all seen big examples of CEOs and company owners and founders that have been ousted from their own company. Think Steve Jobs, think Twitter, I think it was Twitter, where the owner ends up leaving, or the founders leave, and I think it happens more often than we know, because the culture changes and gets away from them. The different managers and team members that are brought in to help build the business and supersize it end up taking over. I think that's part of why Elon Musk is buying Twitter, because the culture has just, and the thoughts and beliefs politically have gone haywire, and he wants to come in and help control that. So that's an example. Performance issues. A lot of times when people we like and care about and are friends with us, it's harder to give them feedback and hold them accountable to performance issues. That's why it's good to build structures and systems into your business that automatically address those things, so that even people we like and care about and love and care about don't get to slip through the cracks with respect to what's expected in the business. Bottlenecks, so I talked about bottlenecks, talked about changing external things like our environment, inflation, political changes, regulatory changes, etc. All of those things can happen, and we can miss them if we're so busy focusing on certain areas and aspects of our business that we don't have a mechanism for paying attention to those things. Our topic for today for the annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, is personal responsibility, or responsibility in our relationships. And I shared 20 different ways. It's going to be 19, but I added one of my own. 20 different ways that we need to be responsible in our relationships. Why? Because we do have power and control. Number one, the relationships we choose to be a part of, and number two, our role. We have things that we can expect in relationships, but we also have to be willing to give those things in order to receive those things. If we expect respect in our relationship, we have to respect the person we're in a relationship with, if we want to have a healthy relationship. Of course, many of us been involved in dysfunctional relationships, and we didn't have our needs met. Things weren't the way we wanted them to be. But I shared about 20 different things that are necessary ways for us to be responsible in our relationships. And we get to pick and choose from those because we are going to create our own personal responsibility relationship bill of rights today. And you can include as many things as we want in that. I'm going to say 7. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to limit myself to 7 or less things because I know personally that if I do more than 7, it's hard for me to remember. Now I'll do 7 or at the most, and I might just do 3 or 4 and then add and subtract as it becomes necessary. But I think it's a good idea to have a personal bill of rights for our relationships. And some of those are more important to us than others based on our past experiences. So I'm going to do that today. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun activity because I've never created my own personal relationship responsibility bill of rights. And it's responsibility bill of rights in that what we give or what we expect to receive, we need to be willing to give. And if we're not, then we shouldn't be asking for it. If I don't want to set goals with my partner, and if I don't want and expect them to set goals with me, if I'm not going to give that, then I shouldn't expect to receive that. If I'm not going to be open and honest in my communication with my partner, I can't expect them to be open and honest in their communication with me. If I don't choose to be growing spiritually or emotionally with my partner, and I don't want to give them that, then I can't expect them to be that way with me. We receive in life what we give, right? If we want to be loved, we give love, right? We give love first, and then we receive love in return. It might not be from the relationship or the person that we want or originally plan on when we're setting this up, but I say let's do something that applies to all our relationships. What do I expect in relationships, right? Relationship with my kids, relationship with my significant other, relationship with people that I work with. Some of those things will vary, but I expect honesty and openness and problem-solving maturity and things in all my relationships because that's what I give, and I expect those things in return. All right. I am granddaughter-free for a couple of days, so I am focusing on a whole lot of projects that I've been wanting to do. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.